Welcome to day 2 of our study of the books of major prophets. So we're going to take a look first at the book of Isaiah, because Isaiah is the first of the major prophets. There are actually 5 books that belong to the major prophets: Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, and Daniel. Now, these 5 books, they belong to the major prophets. They're called major prophets not because they are greater, or that means they're better than the 12 minor prophets. No, that's not the case. They're called major prophets because they wrote books with so much content. For example, the book of Isaiah has 66 chapters. If you would look at the other 12 minor prophets, they're not like that. They're not like, it's not as much. It's so much to the point that the book of Isaiah in itself, it's called a mini Bible. Why? For example, Isaiah has 66 chapters. The Bible has 66 books. The Bible is divided into 39 Old Testament books and 27 New Testament books. Isaiah, according to some scholars, can be split into 2. The first 39 chapters, chapters 1 to 39, talks about judgment, while the remaining 27 books, chapters 40 to 66, talks about the hope for humanity's salvation. So you see the analogies? The whole Bible also points to prophesied Messiah, whom Christians believe to be Jesus. And of course, the life of Jesus is chronicled in the New Testament books. If you look at the book of Isaiah, the book of Isaiah gave so many messianic prophecies, or prophecies that points to the Messiah as well. So in itself, this book gave so much writings that points to the foretold Messiah, who is believed to be Jesus. I'll give you some example. I'll read to you Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14. Listen to this. Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. You usually hear this being quoted during Christmas season. It's in the context of judgment, but it points to the coming Messiah. Here's another one. You hear this during Christmas as well. For a child will be born to us. This is from Isaiah chapter 9. A son will be given to us, and the government will rest on his shoulders, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Eternal Father, Prince of Peace. There are also some chapters that refers to the suffering or the fulfillment of the task of the Messiah. For example, Isaiah chapter 53 is very famous for being a chapter that talks about the suffering servant. A lot of scholars are saying that it is a reference to the passion and crucifixion of Jesus Christ. So, hundreds of years before Jesus, there's a description of the suffering of this Messiah in the book of Isaiah. So Isaiah must be a very, very talented, skilled, anointed prophet. Isaiah lived through and advised several Jerusalem kings, yet his words of judgment were not taken very seriously by the Israelites, not until these Israelites were exiled and released afterwards, by which time they realized how gracious God was to them to warn them. But they did not listen. Unfortunately, they did not listen until it is too late. Or is it? Is it too late? That's actually the principle for today. Principle is, God is gracious and loving enough to warn us of the coming judgment, while at the same time giving us hope and several chances. You see, the fact that God sent these prophets to the Israelites to tell them that, hey, these things that you're doing, judgment will come for them. They will have grave consequences. It is God's way of being gracious to His people to let them know that these things, they will not end well. At the same time, God is so good that while He gives the judgment beforehand, before they come, before they happen, He also gives them hope. He also gives them a way out. He also gives them chances of redemption. It's not yet too late. And that is how gracious and good God is. You know, when your parents or your teachers or some people who are wise enough to give advice to you, when they tell you, you know what, if you keep doing this, this is gonna happen. If you keep doing this, this is gonna happen. Now sometimes when they give us such rebuke, we tend to ignore them. We tend to push them away. We don't want to hear them. We don't want to hear negative things. But many times those things that they say, they're true. We don't know it yet, but they're gonna happen. And what happens to us is if we don't listen, we end up being there. But God is so good that when we get there, that will still not be the end. God will provide several chances. And that is the story of the Bible. God continuously provides several chances. Take note, I did not say infinite chances. God provides several chances. Time will come, those chances will run out. Time will come that when judgment comes, it will be final. There will be no more chance. That will be the end of it. Don't wait until it is really too late. Let's grab those opportunities while God is being gracious to us, while God is being patient to us. Because time will come, there won't be turning back anymore.